Welcome to the first episode on exporting from the DaVinci Resolve. I will try my best to provide you with the most extensive rundown on the Deliver page and its options and settings. Export destinations, social media. Nowadays, probably the most common use case for exporting video is to use some highly compressed interframe-based codec, such as H.264 or H.265 or AV1, for quick and trouble-free publication in some social media platform. You can use the presets if you're uninterested or in a hurry, or you can modify the export settings closer to your liking. For example, upping the bitrate to get more higher quality video available. Keep in mind though that you may want to have your video available with as high quality as possible, but the official upload setting recommendations of any given platform emphasizes speed rather than quality. So to get quality, you need to do some own homework. Export destinations, post-production. Another use case is that you transcode your media using a robust mezzanine in-between intra-based codec, such as ProRes, DNxHR or Cineform, to retain the highest possible quality. This allows you to deliver your material elements or finished product to some external software or hardware, either in-house or to some outside company for the material to remain in the post-production workflow for further processing. Export destinations, cinema. Or you could deliver a completed film, primed for cinema viewing, using a high-quality image sequence format like DCP or IMF. Larger productions with access to render farms have been leveraging image sequence formats such as ProRes RAW and RedRAW, as hardware costs have not become a constraint. Export destinations, screeners. Alternatively, you might be in the midst of a production exporting viewable versions for client approval. In such cases, using H.264 with an MP4 wrapper could be the safest option, especially if the client plans to view the video on older hardware, on a potato, such as a laptop from the 1990s. Export destinations, proxies. You might also need to create light proxy versions of the heavy original high-res clips for use by the rest of the post-production team. The codec for this could be H.265 or DNxHR, depending on the project, its workflow and the used hardware. Export destinations, VFX work. VFX professionals often prefer to have their source material in EXR format, which has been specifically designed for VFX purposes, as it can retain the highest possible image quality, and it also can store multiple layers and multiple layer passes in one file. Export destinations, broadcast. And lastly, your content might be destined for broadcast television, which often requires content in a constant bitrate, interlaced format. Although nowadays most material, even for broadcast news, is delivered in H.264 using an MP4 wrapper. Many versions, destinations, options, and settings. This is why there's such an extensive list of options on the Deliver page for you to choose from, along with comprehensive settings for each codec and export format. It's all about giving you control over the export process to meet your specific needs. So now you start to get an idea on just how flexibly the Deliver page can be utilized. Export options other than the Deliver page. When you need to export your work as it's still under progress, a timeline or a bin from Resolve, it's usually best for you to export using each page's own export options from the file menu. You can export graded stills from the color page, compositions from the Fusion page, or bounce an audio track into a file by right-clicking the track in the Fairlight page. Or when you need to archive a version of your timeline, or when you need to send a timeline to some other post software, you can use the XML or the simpler and quicker EDL export options. You can export a timeline, a bin, or a project from the edit page without the media files. Or you can export entire projects with full media and proxies. Or when you need to archive a version of your timeline, or when you need to send a timeline to some other post software, you can use the XML or the simpler and quicker EDL export options in the edit page. You can export a timeline, a bin, or a project from the edit page without the media files. Or you can export entire projects with full media and proxies from the project window. If you need to do a fast export tailored to a specific social media platform, you can use the handy export presets from the quick export, which is available in the Cut, Edit, Color and Fairlight pages. If you're assigned to create social media content in 15 minutes and you only want the finished video ASAP, the render presets are your best friend, as the only thing you need to know about the presets is which one to choose. The downside of the presets is that with them you don't get many of the options you get when using custom settings. This can be seen as a good or a bad thing, depending on the user and his level of knowledge. The more seasoned you become as a video creator, the more you'll crave control over the export process. And that is exactly what the Deliver page is created to offer for its users. For the instances when you need to export your videos in certain order, with certain specific settings, or in general, when you want to make sure you get the best, most optimal export settings for your video, you should use the Deliver page for exporting your video content. You have a good one.